There's one thing that I can guarantee if you don't have, you will fail. Whether it be your fitness and your training, whether it be your business or your work or your income or anything important that you want to do in this life, I can guarantee if you don't have this, you will fail. What is it? A plan. And now this is the part where most people are going to leave the video, but for those of you that stay, I'm going to show you how to put together the best possible plan, why you need one, and who can help you put one together. My name is Ely. I'm a strength coach for cyclists. Let's dive in. This started off up here, and since 4:30 a.m. I should add, the sun's still rising, so you'll see the window getting brighter and brighter and brighter back there. Since 4:30 it's been getting less and less and less, and I think I'm going to finish it by the end of this video. Bernard, actually it says Bernardin. Don't know if you can see that. Anyways, there's a quote that we like to say in the gym industry. I don't know if this statistic is true, but the quote nevertheless illustrates an important principle. 90% of people walk into the gym without a plan. 90% of people never meet their goals. Is that a coincidence? Probably not. Now, there is some wiggle room here. The more of a beginner you are, the more room you have to just play around and walk in without a plan and somehow see results. And the reason for it is because as a beginner, your central nervous system is adapting to literally everything. You're creating these mind-muscle connections, actin or myosin, and you're teaching your cells and your body and your tissues new movements and new movement patterns. And so just exposing yourself to any stimulus is going to create some level of adaptation. But the more advanced you get in your training, the more important it is to have a plan, and not just to have a plan, but to have a well thought out, intentional, purposeful plan. And that's why my whole thing, my whole mantra is ride with purpose, train with purpose for a higher purpose, because at heart I'm also Christian. And as a believer, I believe in training for a higher purpose, not self-glorification. But anyways, let's put that aside for now. Being intentional and being specific with your training, having a plan, does not just come willy-nilly out of nowhere. Now, with the plan, there's a few things that you have to keep in mind. There is no sense in developing this comprehensive, in-depth training plan focusing on specifics and details and stuff like that if you don't have the basics and the foundation set in place. To put this into perspective, I once talked to a cyclist who was interested in losing weight and reducing inflammation, reducing some pain that he was having. And this cyclist asked me how he can optimize his routine. I'm like, great, finally, someone who wants to optimize their plan. This is what I've been looking for all along. These are the kinds of people I work with. And he was telling me actually how he was already following this in-depth training plan, right? And he's doing isometrics, he's working on counting his calories, he's regularly going to massage therapy. And I asked him, I'm like, okay, sounds like you're doing a lot of good stuff. Why isn't this helping? And he's like, I don't know, man. That's why I'm asking you. I'm like, cool, okay, let's dig a little bit deeper. After digging deeper, guess what we found? He was only sleeping for 4 to 5 hours a night, which likely contributed to his pain and inflammation and also his cravings, because lack of sleep does have an effect on the hunger hormones. He was drinking a lot of coffee, a lot of Starbucks specifically, but not that much water, thus consuming extra calories while dehydrating himself. His diet lacked any kind of fruit or vegetable. He was using poor training techniques. Yes, he was focusing on isometrics, but his movement patterns were poor. He was ego lifting and risking injury. Essentially, he optimized all these tiny little details, which I love the details. The art is in the details, but he overlooked the basics. His foundation was not there. And that's what a lot of us try to do. We're out here asking, oh, should I be doing a chest supported T-bar row, or should I be doing a dumbbell hinge row, or should I be doing a half lunge cable row, core and gate? Like, it doesn't matter if you're not doing the basics. If you're not drinking enough water, eating enough protein, getting enough sleep, and going through the fundamental movement patterns like this, there's basics that need to be involved, the fundamentals, because these small adjustments, they won't do anything if you don't have a solid foundation. And so a plan starts with having a clear goal, a clear vision in mind for where you actually want to go. So set a clear goal. And to set a clear goal, ask yourself a few questions. Number one, what do you actually want? Like, genuinely, what do you want to achieve? If I asked you right now, hey, don't know your name. Greg, if there's a Greg on the other side of this. Is the goal weight loss, fat loss, strength, power, inflammation, getting pain down? Just narrow down exactly what it is that you're training for. Make it specific. So not just I want to lose weight, how much weight? Not just I want to get stronger, how much stronger? Make it a specific goal. 20 pounds. I want to be able to do 5 pull-ups. I want to be able to get my FTP to 4.5 watts per kilo. And the goal should also be measurable and attainable. And the last one is time sensitive. So be realistic with all of these things. Don't be like, I want to lose 50 pounds in 2 weeks. No, you don't. What you do want to do is lose 50 pounds over the course of a year sustainably. So make it time sensitive, but also make it achievable. So by clarifying what your goal is, how you can measure it, and making it realistic and time sensitive, we have put a solid framework in place, almost a destination. And from that destination, we can plan backwards for how we can get there. After that, incorporating the basics. So let's say your goal is to lose weight. What are the basics? Well, number 1 is a caloric deficit. Number 2 is protein. Number 3 is getting enough sleep. Number 4 is strength training. All of these things, these are not in a specific order, I should mention, but all of them are the basics towards this. Then you have stuff on top of that, cardio. Intermittent fasting is a tool that can help you just to eat less. And you have all these basics. Then once you have the basics in place and you're doing them consistently, then you can think about optimizing. And so let me be completely honest with you here, 100% transparent. Most of the people I work with come to me to optimize their training routine, and we don't do that for a few months until we get the basics in place consistently, because there's no point in us optimizing the finer details without the foundation in place. So have a plan, get the foundation in place, and then you can look at the details. And the reason I'm not going to go into what the details are in this video is because the details are dependent on your goals. The details we look at are different than if your goal is to lose weight, if your goal is to get stronger on the bike. Everything has different details that you need to focus on, but that's where the benefit of working with someone can help. Even Proverbs says, plans fail for lack of counsel, but with advisors they succeed. Don't know where that is in Proverbs, it's just in my head right now, but it's the counsel that you have will help you with ensuring that your plan is successful. And finally, just as a side note, a plan is important, it is necessary, but I'm sure you already know this, getting to your goal will never bring you true satisfaction. In Ecclesiastes, the writer who grapples with the meaninglessness of his life because he spent his entire life gaining as much wealth and as much wisdom as he could. He literally achieved every single goal he had set for himself. And at the end of it, he said, everything is meaningless. The eye never has enough of seeing, the ear never has enough hearing. And it's because our desires are unlimited. No matter what goal you hit, the satisfaction that comes from it is just so temporary until you're gonna want more. Desire is unlimited, and nothing in a temporal, limited world is going to satisfy your unlimited desire. Only God can do that, because only God is unlimited. Well, the sun's finally out, and I guess that means it's time to conclude this video. You need a plan. You need a plan to get you towards your goal. That plan needs to have the foundations in place so that if something comes, it won't topple over. Then once you have the foundations in place, because you know what your goal is, and your goal is specific, measurable, attainable, and realistic and time sensitive, then you can start looking at the finer details, optimizing the little things in the routine. And then when you reach your goal, thank God and understand that desire is unlimited and your goal will never bring you true satisfaction, but that doesn't make it less worth fighting for, because God lets us enjoy the fruits of our labor, but it is also only Him who can fulfill our deepest desires. Hope I can catch you next time. By the way, if you like what you're watching, if you're enjoying this video, if this resonated with you, let me know down below, put it in the comments, leave a like, feel free to subscribe. It really helps the channel. Share it with someone who needs to hear it. And let me know what else you'd like to see. Ciao.